Where's one?
I don't know. I think number one's off on a mission to get some more nachos or something. Anyway, hello everyone. My name is Thomas Two-Bit Bestove, and we welcome you back to another very important episode of Two Bits with Thomas. Where as of right now, this day, we are mere hours away from Banjo Kazooie finally being
Sure.
back where it belongs on the Nintendo system.
Hell the fuck yeah.
And as much as I would love to talk about why Banjo Kazooie is the superior game to Banjo and Tooie, please don't kill me.
I'm not.
We're, I'm pretty sure someone out there is readying their shotgun. We have a few more movies to talk about from the 2002 era, and because I don't want to keep everyone awake all night, or do I? Do
Dun,
I?
dun, dun.
The
Well,
Batcat Troller was not ready to put up with Thomas that night.
Oh my god, that was great.
anyway, Mario Party 5 is a game for the Nintendo GameCube released
God
in...
damn it.
I I mean, the next movie we're going to be talking about is a movie that I saw in theaters, and I think it's kind of okay. I don't think it was necessary, but I think it's pretty okay. Peter Pan, Return to Neverland.
The Disney
The
movie about war.
Yeah, pretty much. This movie literally takes place during World War II. Captain Hook tries to get his revenge on the original kids that Peter brought to Neverland, but ends up kidnapping the daughter of Wendy, and tries to use her as a means to get his revenge on Peter Pan. And instead of there being a crocodile who wants to eat their hand, there's now a octopus who wants to commit hentai.
That's all I remember.
Hello.
Like, Andy
Oh.
Shush.
That was the
Oh.
only piece of the ship that McDonald's had that I didn't have, and I'm kind of looking back, I'm glad I didn't have that damn octopus.
I'm confused.
Did you ever see it?
You say that this is a movie about kids in World War II, and they go to a magical land, and a villain kidnaps one of them.
Yes.
Oh no.
Are you sure we're not talking about Narnia?
No.
Oh no. It's
Ride me!
I thought you were something. I thought
Maybe.
you were. Oh
What?
no. I thought he was investing something even worse. I thought he was actually talking about like Hitler and shit. I'm sorry.
Ooh, God, no.
Oh
dear.
no.
Talk about
Oh
that.
I hope I
dear,
don't get
I think
canceled for
we
that
just got
mindset.
cancelled on Twitter.
I don't
Oh,
want to be
we're
canceled on
good.
Twitter.com.
I
You
do
can't
appreciate-
cancel me off of Twitter.com. I have 70 alternative accounts.
Basically. I don't actually.
Anyway, Mario Party 5 is the fifth Mario Party. Return to
2002 was a common year starting on. Okay.
Dude, Return to Netherland basically is just an okay film. It feels a bit like a continuation after the original. You have like the original Captain Hook, of his ship that's now enchanted, but you have a war-torn world and World War II, and it's kind of like it's just a kind of a movie I just sort of remember that eventually the daughter gets back. An older Wendy sees Peter, and the dad returns from the war. So, yeah. Does anyone have anything they want to say about this movie? If they've even
I
seen
remember
this movie?
I remember the ship that floated in the bathtub, and I didn't have the damn octopus part, so the ship was incomplete. God damn it!
Did it sink?
Yes, but
What was incomplete?
The ship that had like the it was a McDonald's toy. There was 5 parts to a giant ship that floated in the bathtub, and I didn't have the octopus part, so that shit didn't work. Remember, if you don't
Let's
have
see.
all the toys, you aren't anything. Oh god, I hated that. Happy Meal toys. I'm glad they don't really do that anymore.
not really.
That was
Anyway,
the only part that was worth paying money for. What are you talking about?
So
I get.
I'm guessing none of you have seen this movie.
I remember seeing it as a kid. I never saw it in theaters.
I
But the few things I remember was that I actually kind of liked what's the girl's actual what's her name? Not Wendy, but what's her daughter's
Jane.
name? Jane.
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 Jenny.
I like Jane's personality a lot more. She was more brash and more, oh poor me, oh Peter, oh like just really upset. I don't know why I turned into Lois Griffin in the middle part of the oh Peter, but
Tina, I'm carrying lemonade.
that was. But I didn't like that she was more, I would say, independent than just being a damsel in distressy type like Wendy. Although was kind of bitchy towards Tinkerbell and stuff, and I know her light went out and stuff, and it's actually really emotional if I'm remembering right. I also like that she seemed more sisterly, maybe because I don't think she had any siblings, but she was really sisterly to
She
the lost children or lost
well,
boys.
she has a younger brother in the movie that she kind of cares about, and doesn't really want to get hurt because, you know.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
one thing I know it's slightly off subject about the Lost Boys, but I always wanted like one of their costumes, and I think that was maybe one early sign you're like, yeah, that's a furry thing.
Yeah.
I
Wait,
wanted to
you're a
be a lost
furry?
kid so I could have one of the costumes. I thought it was just great.
Yeah.
And I just love their like they're just adorable, just designed and nostalgic. But I don't remember too much about the movie. I just know it's one of the well animated Disney sequels.
That is indeed
It's
It's
a
true.
not.
good one though. I mean, like
It is.
from what I saw and what I remember, it's a good one.
Yeah, I might rewatch it. Like I might do that tomorrow or after this. Watch the first and second back to back, and then
Yeah.
so I might do.
Indy, Kelvin, do either of you have anything to say?
I've never
Um,
seen.
go ahead.
Sorry, I never seen this movie before, but I couldn't say anything.
All right, Kelvin.
Well, you remember when Toys R Us was a thing?
Yes.
Oh
And
yeah.
you remember how they used to have those kiosks where they would play movies on?
Yes.
Yeah, I got to stand in front of that for like 5 minutes, and that's how much I've seen.
Oh.
Oh.
Well, I guess then we can move on to our next movie. One that is kind of interesting because it actually holds some continuity to the show. The Wild Thornberries movie.
I never saw it, but I would like to.
It's
I,
actually
I
okay. I can talk about it when it's my turn.
I believe I remember seeing this in theaters or something, or maybe on Nickelodeon. I remember that the movie was about Elijah, I believe that's her name.
Her Liza, yeah. It's
Yes.
like Elizabeth without the Beth at the
Uh,
end.
yes. Her grandmother is tired that she's basically constantly traveling around the world and gets sent to boarding school. But she's basically, oh no, I don't want to be in boarding school, especially when there's poachers hunting animals. So she escapes boarding school, goes to hunt down these poachers. The poachers capture her sister, and then she's forced to reveal how she knew so much information about what they were doing, and she's forced to break her rule that she cannot expose that she's able to talk to animals. And she does this, loses her powers, and then has to save a herd of elephants who are being stampeded into an electric fence who are going to be killed. And remember, this is a kids' movie.
Yeah, it's real messed up actually, but I mean, poachers in general are messed up. So
Yep.
They are.
Um, from what I can remember of the movie, it was pretty well animated. It had some big stakes. It was a pretty alright, pretty good movie. I kind of liked it, but I don't I don't remember much about it, really. It was just, other than that was the whole plot of it. She does get her ability to talk to animals back later near the end of the movie, but and her sister kind of just keeps it a secret because you know she did save her life from near death and whatnot. Anyway,
But
Indy, have
y'all,
you ever?
what y'all are saying though, it seems like this was one of the last ever environmental movies of the time that was animated, and from what you guys are explaining, Once Upon a Forest, this is not. This is a lot more
Once
stakes than
Upon a
that.
Forest or Fern Gully, it's got some
Well,
like
they had a lot of
Fern
stakes,
Gully.
but yeah,
Yeah, but Once Upon a Forest, man. Oh man, I'm just surprised someone else knows about that.
that was a escort mission. That's the whole movie.
We'll have to talk about. I'll have to talk about that with you. It's
Yeah,
another
we
time.
will. Anyway,
Anyhow, Indy, have you ever seen this movie?
Nope.
So nothing to add. Kelvin, have you seen this movie, or did you look at a kiosk when it came on?
Neither.
Oh, you poor child. Silver?
the only thing I remember is that on Nickelodeon they also like retconned it with a movie that came out, like a made-for-TV movie where they were in London, and said that this was their first adventure and not the Wild Thornberries movie was their first adventure, and it made no sense.
Do you want to run that by me again?
Did I cut out?
No. What you just said gave me a brain aneurysm at the fact that they decided to just retcon their first movie.
Yeah, they did.
Okay, then we're moving on to Pixie because I want to move on from this so that I can forget that you just said that.
I will. Okay, the few things I really want to say about this movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I don't know where I first saw it. My mom could have rented it or pay-per-viewed it or something. I don't know because I never physically owned it. But I remember actually enjoying the movie as a kid more than the actual TV series for some reason. It was also my first introduction to Tim Curry. And they say this if whatever your first introduction to Tim Curry can tell you a lot about yourself. So take that as you will, that the first voice I ever heard of Tim Curry was Nigel Thornberry.
I think
Access.
I think my first time ever hearing Tim Curry was actually from the Freakazoid show where he was playing that crazy madman in one of the episodes where he goes, "They called me mad, insane, Wendell!" And,
But on to the thing, like I don't know why I just never watched the TV series. Something never stuck with me. I don't know why. I loved animals. I would have loved Eliza's ability. Something about it, and I don't know why it didn't stick with me. But this movie, I don't know, something stuck with me. It's beautiful. It's animated very well. The plot's a little iffy once the Eliza goes to boarding school. There's a little, I mean, there's some good slapstick, like Darwin the chimp goes in with her and they have to dress him up as like one of the schoolgirls, and he kind of passes for a little bit. It's pretty comedic. But one thing I strictly remember, and I every once in a while there's the song from the movie come up called Father and Daughter by Paul Simon in the movie, and it is honestly one of my favorite songs. And every time I hear it, I kind of get like my heart swells because it makes me want to cry a little bit, because if I was allowed to have had dancing at my wedding and I could have had my father-daughter dance, that would have been the song I would have chosen, because every time I hear it, my heart just swells and it makes me think of my own father and stuff. So every time I hear that song, I'm just like, that makes me think of my dad. Just slightly misty-eyed, just heartwarming thing. And on a happy note, and I don't know if anybody's a Red Hot Chili Peppers fan here, but it's still surreal to me knowing that Flea, the bassist from the Red Hot Chili Peppers, voices the wild child Donnie. and I think it's just fascinatingly hilarious and amazing that he does that voice.
Oh, well, I guess we all learned something today. Also,
Yeah.
I think I know why the show didn't stick with you. There was no Nickelodeon Gak.
I mean, hey, you gotta have gag.
And now on to the next movie
Hold on,
that
I
I
just
don't.
got.
Sorry, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
I think I just wanted to. I was gonna look up what came first, Crocodile Hunter or the Wild Thornberries movie.
Oh dear lord.
Okay, so I can answer this. Crocodile Hunter movie came out in 2000. Wild Thornberries movie came out in 2000.
The series, the just
Oh,
Crocodiles Hunter, because I want
the
to know if they were
Crocodile Hunter came out
inspired.
in 95 or 96, and Wild Thornberries came out in 98.
So they could have been inspired by Steve Irwin and Terry and them.
Yeah.
Anyway, on to the next thing
Okay,
that
that's
no
all I wanted to
one.
mention on.
Anyway, on to Mario Party 5, the game that will not interrupt me. I mean, on to 8 Crazy Nights, the movie I know absolutely nothing about, other than it's Adam Sandler's, and I think we all could live without it.
I kind of have a love-hate relationship with
Me
it.
too.
Alright, which one of you knows the movie better, because one of you gets to explain it.
Do you want
I
me to do better explaining things?
all-
And I'll tell memories.
But I do know that when the movie was released, they didn't know if it was for kids or adults, because I remember there was an episode of Slime Time Live on Nickelodeon where one of the questions to get slimed was, can you do an impression of the reindeer? And a kid did it and got slimed. So yeah, I think there was definitely a confusion as to who this movie was for.
It really is. It's one of those movies you're like, kids could watch it, but they really shouldn't. But that's Adam Sandler movies in a basic nutshell.
Yeah, and I mean, Smell You Later, Poopsicle was overheard a lot at my school. So
Also,
no.
if we're talking about things that kids should not have watched, but they did, Rocko's Modern Life, Invader Zim, Ren and Stimpy, some other show I can't think. What?
those that don't know about the joke that I just said, oh boy, the Poopsicle.
Oh, that
That
reminds me of the time I used to watch a Nostalgia Critic video about that.
Yeah.
Do I want to say it? Do I need to say
No,
it?
you don't.
I don't know.
think we
Do
want to
you
make
want
this
to? Because the more we, the faster we talk about this, the faster we can move on to actual good shit.
Yeah, let's just move on.
I do want to say this. One thing about I will say that's still okay about the movie is the animation is still pretty pleasant. It's pleasant. And it's one of the only quote unquote Jewish animated movies that I can think of, like, that's based with Hanukkah.
Yeah.
And every now and then I still have to joke. I think I still joke with one of my friends because we all grew up with Adam Sandler movies, so I have a love-hate relationship with what the guy does. And then we always go, it's a technical foul, and I just can't help but do it.
Technical foul!
Like, the music's kind of fun, but the movie it's clearly an animated Adam Sandler movie that isn't Hotel Transylvania. It's very much the case of, it's kind of like you get what you get with it. But it's a guilty pleasure. If it's on during the holidays, I'll watch it. I'll just zone out and just watch, maybe snicker a little because I have immature sense of humor, but it's not the worst movie on this list, but it's definitely one of the lower quality ones.
Alright, I'm sorry, but I have to do this. Chop chop! I'm a mature adult. I was making a reference to a YouTuber who, like, in one of the Final Fantasy games, I think it was like 2 if not 3, there's a character whose name is Chub Chub.
Anyways,
Anyways, if no one else has anything to say about an Adam Sandler movie, we're going to move on to a biblical movie with talking
Oh,
vegetables.
you don't mean? Oh God.
So,
Oh.
who wants to talk about Jesus?
No.
He's not in that movie.
Go,
Right now, Kelvin,
Right.
you were about to, were you gonna say something about it, or am I gonna be the one who can say something about it?
I'm good.
Anywho, Jonah is basically the story of Jonah and the whale. You know, the guy that got eaten by a whale because he refused to give a message to a town that God would smite them off the earth. So he decided to run away, gets eaten by a whale, spends 3 days in there, gets sent out, and then he goes and it's like, hey, I'm telling you this message from God. And it's like, okay, I did the message. Can you smite them off the planet? And I'm like, no.
What the hell does this have to do about going to a concert, which is the wraparound segment for this fucking movie?
Oh my god, I forgot that was like the main thing about the TV shows. It was like this wraparound thing where there's like talk about
Silly songs with Larry.
yes,
Yeah.
it's like the
Trust
only
me,
thing,
I grew up with VeggieTales.
the
So
only
I will
thing
when I
about
my friend, I'll
Veggie
talk
I
about them.
didn't know.
Wait, how do you guys not get that part?
we're not very bright now, are we?
The whole point of it is that it's a concert that they're really excited to, and the girl who was being a jerk lost her ticket. So after they learn a story about forgiveness, the kid she was being a jerk to forgave her. Like, that's the whole point of the movie. How did you miss that?
How did you?
I didn't
You
see
know
the
what?
whole thing. That's
You know
it.
what? Okay.
Ugh.
First off, the only thing I remember is like is the very first one where where the kid, the broccoli kid, is afraid of the monster in the closet who's just an actor and whatnot.
First off, that's not even the movie. That's the first episode of the show. Second, he's an asparagus.
Things heating up in the VeggieTales fandom, y'all.
Also, the only thing I remember from this movie is like the pirates and when God summons a storm to try and convince Noah to get off the boat.
Jonah! Oh my god!
Dang
I'm going to bite you.
Wow. This is entertaining.
Can I go about the parts I remember so we don't
Wait,
get
we
glitchy?
can get
okay,
past
hang on. I only remember the part
Hey
where
Thomas, tell me. Can you tell me what scene do they go to the chocolate factory? Do you remember? Do you remember that?
The only bit I remember is them playing Go Fish and our old maid and this caterpillar.
No, you had it right the first time.
Yes, and this caterpillar basically has an upside down card, meaning that it is Jonah who has the last card and gets thrown off the boat, and the storm ends, and it's funny. Okay, Pixie, you can go on before Kelvin decides to bite me.
I've already decided it's too late.
Damn.
Okay, the only things I remember about this movie, because I did own it, but it was a movie I didn't watch very much because, quote unquote, it was religious VeggieTales, which, in retrospect, VeggieTales is still weirdly hilarious in an uncanny kind of way, like Sesame Street is to me. But besides that, there's only a few things I remember. Is like the beginning. I remember the music being okay. There's a song they sing as like a little folk song that's like about this guy who has like shit luck through I think kindergarten to first grade.
Oh yeah.
And
I
it's such a,
Now, Billy Joe Mcgruff was a really clumsy kid. On the first
Oh
day
my
of first
God.
grade, I'll tell you what he did. He tripped over a pencil box, flew up in the air, landed on a kangaroo who pulled out all his hair. I know the whole song, I'll do it.
It's such
No.
a fun song. I don't care what you say. It's a fun song. But the only other thing I do remember is that caterpillar, because he was the only VeggieTales character with hands, and it felt uncanny. Like he belonged in a different movie. They just borrowed him from a different asset. Like it was weird. Like he didn't have the floating nonsense arms, I guess you could call them. He had physical arms you could see, and it felt cursed. Even as a kid, I'm like, that doesn't feel right. He doesn't look like he belongs. But I don't remember much else about it, except for maybe like here every now and then I still get the French peas, steak, and shrimp song in my head too.
Oh my god.
But
Yes.
that's all I have to say
Oh,
about
man.
the VeggieTales. Well, the one of the VeggieTales movies, because the other one flopped like a dead fish.
Yep.
Oh, I saw that one. I've seen all of them.
Anyway, Indy, do you have anything to add?
Well, I watched that movie once as a teenager, but need to watch it again to see how good it is. And yeah, I know. And I know it's really sucked that it's kind of like didn't go pretty well, and then Phil Vischer actually lost the rights
Yeah.
for VeggieTales.
Yeah, that is a story for another time, but let's just say that he definitely had a rough time with his show, and I think he has the rights to it again.
I believe so. There should be like a reboot coming sooner. Has that been canceled?
I don't know. Silva, do you have anything to say about this movie so I can hopefully prevent Kelvin from saying anything more song-wise?
The only thing else is that if we ever want to do an episode about VeggieTales in the future, I know someone we can call.
Ghostbusters?
He-Man?
Lilac, but we'll get to that later.
Okay, Kelvin, since you can actually know the song, what do you want to say about the movie?
Well, completely acknowledging the irony of this statement, thank God it came out when VeggieTales was good, before the reboot.
Yeah.
Shots
Oh my
fired
God.
there.
I actually tried watching a whole episode of the reboot. It is ugh.
Yeah.
Further irony is the word Flanderization comes from Ned Flanders, the Christian character of The Simpsons. And this is a Christian show where everyone got Flanderized.
I did not know you were a TV troper. That is awesome.
I love TV tropes, yes.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I definitely love this movie. And the series in general brings up some odd questions about the universe these characters live in. Like the world is populated by vegetables. In the beginning, according to the Bible, God made man in his own image. It makes you wonder, in their universe, which vegetable did God make in his image, and does that mean all the rest are jealous?
Actually, my friend Lilac would have a few things to say to you about that are actually true facts. There's actually a couple laws of VeggieTales that, one, they are not religious. They are just preaching the word. And there's like this whole lore behind it. It's like, why is this a thing? And like, yeah, there's like a whole bunch of stuff.
But one of the movies has a character that's heavily implied to be God, and he's a pickle.
That was after, I think that was after Phil Vischer left. I'm not religious, but like,
Alright, that's how things been so ridiculous. My voice is going to change. We're moving on to the next one. Cinderella 2. Dreams Come True. Now, for those of you who don't know, this is a sequel to a classic movie. You know the story of Cinderella. I'm not going to tell you this, so instead I'm going to tell you about Cinderella 2. Now, this one is sort of a kind of collections-based movie, where there's a bunch of different stories that kind of go on that tell you sort of what happens after the whole happily ever after, when Cinderella moves into the castle, how one of the mice becomes a man for the day, how Cinderella makes improvements to the castle, blah blah blah.
3 was fabulous. 2 can't sit with us.
Yeah.
Agreed. Totally agreed.
I still haven't seen the third one, but so I kind of grew up with the second and the first one.
Oh,
Now-
the third one's so good.
Sorry, the third one is amazing.
Now, I have sadly never seen the third one. I think the second one it's okay if you pull it in front of someone, but like, here you go, kids. Here's something to watch while I go and make you a bunch of sugary snacks. And they say thank you.
Basically, like there's things that I do like about it, but I hate that it's like episodic, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
Like, I guess I'll go first in this discussion. Like, there's some of the stories are actually kind of wholesome. I don't like the first one too much. I don't like that she's just like, now that she's princess, she's got to do all these things. She would be beheaded or some shit if she was breaking the rules of how they want it, you know? Like, in retrospect, she would, I don't know if, I know she's in, like, is she French or is she or English?
She's French.
So she would probably be beheaded. I don't know.
Hang on.
She would be doing something where it'd be really just annoying. Like, she was breaking so many rules, disobeying them. Like, that's not good to do. But I do remember that one was my least favorite. My favorite one was actually, I think, strangely, because it had, like, reverse furryisms. I liked the one where Jacques went, don't you dare, don't you fucking stop it. Sorry.
Technical difficulties, y'all.
Yeah, it's called having a cat.
It is. Your accent's been changing so much. It's like came out British, then it became it started sounding Texan, and now it sounded Australian. Zoomies, baby. Okay, but where the reverse furries and where Jacques turns into a human. I can't remember why he does, but it was pretty okay. But I like that they give Anastasia, like in the third one, Anastasia like a kind of like a forgiveness arc, I guess you could call it. And I kind of like that. Also, with the baker is adorable. I don't know what it is.
Adorable.
Like, honestly,
yes.
knowing she fell in love. Like, if there was like a sub 3 minutes each or so each one, I was just like, oh, like I felt like she kind of bad. Like, she actually forgave. Fuck, I lost her name. I also. It wasn't Drizella. What's the other one?
Anastasia.
Anastasia, yeah. She forgave Anastasia and helped her like with this relationship and stuff. And it's really, really wholesome.
Unfortunately, it's part of a bunch of package films that, you know, some are good and some are bad, so it's kind of
Yeah. It's a mixed bag, but that's probably the strongest one where she's like, I forgive you. I know you were abusive asshole, but I forgive you. Poor Drizella in Lady Tremaine. Nah, fuck him.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, I quite agree. Oh, bother. My voice keeps changing because of the whole Jonah and the whale thing. I don't think it would ever be the same again. But
Yeah,
you know,
yeah. Looking at the baker's design again, he's just a jolly, handsome boy.
Oh, does anyone else have anything they want to add about this movie?
No.
No, not really.
Well then, I guess we'll have to move on to the movie that no one asked for, and for some reason they
no.
gave it to us. The Hunchback of Notre Dame 2.
Fuck!
I've never seen this movie. The only thing I know is the fact that apparently this bell that he has is made of gold and jewels inside, and they decided to give him a love interest, and this movie really never should have happened, and we're now going to burn it with fire.
A Zelda CDI game has better animation than this piece of shit. There, I said it.
Cool, huh?
Okay,
Break out the
okay.
butter.
You know, yeah,
I'm
it is
having
like
toast.
it felt like it was made. and like it's really dark and gritty. Like I don't get why. Like it's so gross, and I hate it. I hate it so much. Oh my
First
gosh.
one was a flippin' masterpiece, and then this comes along.
It's surprising that they wanted to do Hunchback of Notre Dame, because that's a really dark series.
Also, I don't know what reviewer actually brought this up, but I feel like all of Paris got decimated with the first one to the second one, because there's like 14 people the whole movie.
Wasn't that around like the Black Plague?
Don't make this make sense. It's bad animation. It's bad animation. Stop making it make sense. Stop. Oh my god, I love you and hate you at the same time.
Do you ever do
Can I
this so
say
much? Like,
just one thing about that movie?
Yes.
Wait, isn't he going first? Or
I was going to ask him.
I haven't seen it yet.
Good, don't.
okay, the only redeeming thing for me is the end credit song. I actually adore that little love song.
Oh,
like
the
that's
one by Jennifer Love Hewitt.
I think it is a fucking fabulous little song.
Yeah.
And I can't tell you. I think I accidentally at one time got my VCR stuck. It got fixed, but I think I got my VCR stuck one time where I was stuck watching it. But all I would do is rewind to the end credits song because I love that song so much. And this is before I had YouTube, so I'd have to be stuck watching it that way.
We all gotta admit the credits music back in the day was really good.
Yeah, like I wish more people knew about the end credits version of "Love Will Find a Way" from Lion King 2, because that's just equally.
Yeah.
Okay, but before I go on about Lion King 2, because I totally will, or just a few of the sequels. That's all I can say about that. It's got some decent songs, but it's just really boring story, really lazy, just put together. But the music's decent. It's a Disney movie. I will say not all the sequels, but some of the sequels have better music than the original. But it's pleasant. It's a pleasant movie, actually, musically, but by itself, no, it is not a good movie.
Well, at least there are some sequels that are very, very unique and
now, if you excuse me, Silver the Yote is going to talk about Balto 2 Wolf
How
Quest.
did you know? Oh,
That's not a Disney movie.
I don't care. It's an animated movie that came out in 2002. And it's the next one.
Neither was Jonah, a VeggieTales movie.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to compare Disney sequels.
No. Sorry.
Well, look like someone with actual class.
I think this is the last movie we're talking about.
Yes, this is indeed the last movie.
Well,
yep.
Boy, I have a lot to say about this one. I love this movie. Like, okay. Everyone loves the first Balto, and I do too. It's really good, and Steele as Jim Cummings is amazing. But and I like Star from the first movie. He's really cute. But the second movie actually is not bad for a sequel. Instead of being about Balto, who he doesn't know if he's a wolf or a dog, this one is about his daughter, Alu, named after the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, that she thinks that she knows who she is, but she doesn't know where she belongs because she is part wolf, part husky, and she knows who she is, but she's got to find where she belongs in the world. So she and Balto go on a spiritual-esque hero's journey through, I guess, like Native American totems. It's really a unique idea. The only problem I have with the movie is that most of the characters and plot are introduced in the last 15 minutes of the movie. And I really can't give too much away about this movie because I really think it's a fantastic sequel to Balto. Don't watch the third one. It's god awful. But the songs I really like from this movie as well. Actually, I don't think there's one that has a flaw in it because they're all really good. I love Taking You Home. I absolutely adore Who Are You? And I absolutely also love the grand design. It's really good.
Are you gonna tell the tell the one with the fox scene?
Oh yeah, there's that.
Do I want to know?
People really want to do the fox. That's all I have to say.
Yeah,
it's unnecessary, sexy fox.
Honestly, the thing that kind of irks me about the scene is that fox, because they say that the trickster is the fox. It's like, no, actually, I mean, okay, I'm not an expert on this, but there's a lot of tribes that think the coyote is the trickster too, and I just want to see more coyote representation. Damn it, I want more coyotes. Coyotes need to be more represented in media. Besides just Wile E. All we got is Wile E, the bad guys from Barnyard, Antoine from Sonic, and that's about it.
Antoine's a coyote.
Antoine's a prick.
Don't worry, I'm gonna have coyote cartoon in the future.
Yay!
Don't worry, I'll be sure to ruin it with this mustache.
Yeah, I mean, Antoine is a prick, and like I'm sick of seeing coyotes as bad guys. Oh, and we have Techie Coyote. He is everything.
Wait, are you talking about the Looney Tunes? That one Looney Tunes cartoon?
Probably.
Lunatics Unleashed. Yes, we are talking about that. Do you have anything bad to say about that? Because I swear to God,
no. Listen,
you're one of the few defenders I know.
I only saw a few episodes of it, and I'm like, man, this is actually good. I like this, but like, I didn't get to watch much of it because I didn't know about YouTube or how to find it online, and I kind of regret that because it looks dumb, but I love it.
I have a feeling I kind of let my guard down. It was a lot less professional. I was a lot less professional this episode, but
we all were.
I'm sorry. Okay. I'm sorry. Do we need to go back to where I was? Why I called Jonah Noah and Kelvin bit me on the arm?
Yeah, we got a little out of control in 2002.
Also, Kelvin, can you please let go of my arm?
No.
Well,
can I say just one little thing about Balto 2 before we kind of close?
Oh, absolutely. I love when people talk about Balto 2.
Now, again, I never fully watched this. All I remember, I don't know, I swear I remember it airing on like Toon Disney at one point, or Cartoon Network.
Yeah.
But I just could not watch past, because for me, one of the stereotypical like tropes is like free to a good home, and there's always like one animal left, and I could not watch those scenes. Like all the others look like
company,
Jenna. All the others look like Jenna and everything, and I'm like, no, I want the one that looks like a wolfie. That's a cute dog. And I'm and stuff.
Furry.
Yeah. Again, pre-furry memories.
Yeah.
So yeah, after that, where she was just left alone by herself, no one would want her because she looked like a wolf. I was just like, she's a very low-grade wolf dog. Come on, I want that. You would want that to protect you in fucking, I almost said Africa.
Africa. Alaska.
Oh my, it seems to be very cold here in Africa with all this snow.
Well, to be fair, we were talking about the Wild Thornberries movie earlier.
That's probably why my mind went fucky. But yeah, I couldn't watch past that moment because I would cry because I'd feel so bad for Lou. Alu,
yeah.
Okay, and also I didn't remember which character when you were saying Star of Balto. I didn't remember who Star was, and I'm like, when I looked it up, I'm like, oh wait, it's the silver dog. It reminds me of you, Silver, a little.
I know, he's the goofball. He's always like just such a goofball. I mean, he is part of Steel's cronies, but at the end, he's a good boy.
Speaking of which, isn't a place called that translates? Isn't there a place in like Africa that translates to silver?
There could be.
No idea.
And don't someone had some explaining to do, but instead of explaining it, they just sent a giant murder robot to blast their lasers at us?
I have no
So
input.
guys, what do I think how about we do like at the end of each year that we do a recap of like overall how was the year in
Oh, like a
2002?
rating?
Yeah, no, just like overall, like what did you guys think of 2002? Because we had Lilo and Stitch, we had really good ones, we had really bad ones like the Hunchback of Notre Dame 2, and we had divided ones like Eight Crazy Nights, and also divided ones like Jonah. So I don't know. I think this was a very mixed bag of a year, which is a good thing.
It was a mixed bag of year.
I do agree. I think having a mixed bag where people can have a lot of open discussions about what was good and what was bad is a lot better than just saying everything was good, everything was a favorite, everything was awesome,
Or
everything
it's
is
not a
cool.
year that everything was bad. Like I swear I can name a few years where everything was pretty much bad. But I'm not going
I
to do
can't
that
really.
until we get to them.
Yeah. But I like doing these kind of year reviews on animation. It's kind of fun, honestly, as long as it's like a short-ish year like 2002.
Oh, don't worry, we'll do one where there's a bunch of movies to drive you up the wall.
Or we could do ones that are really short, like earlier years than that. That maybe we could squish those into one episode.
Indeed,
Yeah.
but for the time being, this was a bit of a shorter episode. But hey, we kind of want. There wasn't much left to say about these 2002 animated movies that were really worth watching. I I do thank Kelvin for coming on to these 2 episodes for season 1. I'm sorry that he didn't get to say much.
Season 2.
Season 2.
And for season 2, yes. Listen, there are only 2 things in this world that are very important. One, Taco Bell 4 times a day.
Oh God, come on! No one's gonna get that reference.
No, and,
Oh yeah, I
and,
forgot about that.
Jackbox
and,
reference.
and 2, references that no one will ever get.
And 3
Yeah.
by 1 errors.
Hang on a
And
minute, there's
letter
no
B?
3. Gaben said so. That's why there's only Half-Life 2, Portal 2, Team Fortress 2. There's no such thing as a 3.
We're bound to count 1, 2. We're bound to count 1, 2. We're bound to count 1, 2, 3.
And anyway, before Kelvin somehow gets me banned from YouTube by having an amazing singing voice, I think we're going to end this episode off. But an important message I would like to share with everyone. This year is going to be very important to, I'm pretty sure, a lot of people, especially since the last 2 years have been pretty crappy, but this year is going to be very important to a lot of people, myself included, so please bear with me if for some reason I may sound off. I may not have my full energy or whatever. It might be because I'm going through some stuff. And I really am glad to have all you here, and I hope that a lot more people come along for this journey. It's going to be wild, it's going to be crazy, and I don't know where I'll end up at the end of this year, but as long as I have my friends here, I know things will be well, and I sincerely hope that you all will have friends by your side. So if you ever feel like you're lonely, please remember that you don't have to physically be with someone. There's someone out there that you can meet online, and maybe someday you'll get to meet them in person. Maybe you won't, but as long as you have them by your side, you can get through just about anything. Thank you very much, William, Billy. You're a wonderful friend, and I thank you for listening to me this morning. I doubt you'll see this, but if you do, thank you. And next week there won't be a normal episode because next week we'll be over at Twitch where I'll be streaming with my friends here, Bug Fables.
Oh my God, I love that game.
Yes.
I've never seen it, but I'll try to join in.
Do I have to have a Twitch account?
No, I'm just going to basically use Discord to record us. And,
Oh, perfect.
Yeah, so
Okay,
that
that's
way.
fine. Yeah, then I can do that.
Yes, and because Silver said he would like to voice one of the characters, I'm going to let him do that. And if anyone else here wants to provide voices for the characters, they can feel free
I'll
to.
try.
Otherwise,
Well,
I
maybe
will.
give it a shot.
Yep. Otherwise, I will just fill in the voices for everyone, and you'll have to endure my stupid, horrible man voice that I also don't really like. That's why I'm trying to find a better voice. It's not working, but I'll find it eventually. Anyway, until next time, this has been 2 Bits with Thomas, leaving my 2 bits on the table with my friends, Indy.
Wow.
That's your cue to say something, Indies, before I move on.
Oh, we thought you were just going to list us.
Squeaky
Yeah,
Poo Toys.
And then you just stop, like, okay, I guess the rest of us don't
Okay, now
count.
go ahead and say. Here goes. Squeaky Pool Toys.
Happy
Kelvin,
tail.
I will bite you again.
I can't
Pixie,
It'll kill me.
Pixie,
Hmm?
your outro.
Sorry. I don't have an outro. I'm sorry. I haven't thought of one yet.
Kelvin just said he's going to keep biting me, so go ahead. You can say whatever you want.
Can I say the N word? I'm kidding. I'm not gonna do that.
NFTs?
He said it. He said it.
See you all. See you all in another episode.
NFTs are terrible. The end.
This is also true. If anyone makes an NFT out of this, I will punch you in the face with my fist.
Which is currently attached to a bitey shade wing.
Exactly.
Unless they stand for nice furry tales.
Exactly. And until then, Yakuza like a dragon!